today I am here to do my August wrap-up. I read 4 books in August, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them I finished within like the last week of August. Was not a very good reading month for me, but let's just jump into some statistics. I have my computer right here. So I read a grand total of 1,176 pages, not very high because I didn't read very many books. One of them was a classic, one was a mystery, and 2 were nonfiction, which is kind of out of the ordinary. We had 1 3-star rating and 3 4-star ratings, so I suppose the ratings were actually pretty good this month. And then 1 was on audio, 3 were physical, 2 were adult, kind of, I guess. 1 was middle grade and 1 was YA. So jumping into the first book I finished in August, that was The Vanishing Game by Kate K. Myers. This is a YA mystery thriller maybe, but I'd say it's more on the side of mystery. In this book we follow a girl called Jocelyn, and when she was a younger teenager, her and her twin brother, I think they were twins, were sent to this foster home, which was not a very nice place. A lot of dark things happened, and you kind of learn more about their time there as the story goes on through like flashbacks. So we're following Jocelyn now as she is an adult, and her brother has unfortunately passed in a car accident, but then she starts getting these letters or notes or something like that. I read this at the very beginning of the month, so I really don't remember a lot of it. But she starts getting these letters from her brother, who is supposedly dead, that lead her back to this foster home, which at this point is like abandoned and has been set on fire at another time. And yeah, there's just a lot of dark stuff going on there. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. It would have been closer probably to a 4-star rating if it wasn't for the ending. I just don't even know if I really understood the ending, but I definitely didn't really like it. Just went a full U-turn, which like I enjoy a good like twist, but that was just completely like what? But besides the ending, as for the rest of the book, I did enjoy it. It wasn't super amazing. It wasn't anything really new. Like I enjoyed the mystery elements of it, but I didn't feel super connected with the characters or anything like that. So overall it was just kind of a mediocre read with a really not so good ending, so I gave it 3 stars. The next book that I finished was From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. I have spoken about this book a lot on my channel, as well as her other book which I read, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Stories from the Crematorium, which I also really enjoyed. But if you don't know who Caitlin Doughty is, in case you're seeing this for the first time, she is a mortician, but she is also a YouTuber, and she makes videos all about this kind of stuff on YouTube, which I love to watch. I think she actually like just released her 3rd nonfiction book, or maybe it's coming out in just a little bit, but I definitely plan on reading that one as well because I really liked the first book that I read of hers, and I really liked this one as well. So in this book, basically the tagline is traveling the world to find the good death. So she went to different places all around the world, even within the United States, that you might not realize there are these kind of different death rituals than what you would normally know. So she traveled to all these different places around the world and basically documented the different ways that these cultures deal with death and the rituals and the burials and that kind of stuff, and it was super duper interesting. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I felt like I learned a ton from this. I had no idea some of the stuff that was going on in other places. Like I knew that in other cultures they obviously handle it differently than we do in America, but they have like corpse hotels. Look it up if you want to learn more about that. I really enjoyed her chapter on here about Mexico and the Day of the Dead. That is always something that I've been like fascinated by, because in America when you like just go to visit a cemetery, like I know it's kind of a sad thing because you're visiting someone that is no longer here, but you know, you dress in black and it's like a very depressing time, whereas the Day of the Dead, it's super colorful and it's seen as like a celebration of life rather than being really sad about death. So yeah, I really enjoyed this and learning about all of the different cultures. I would totally recommend it if you are interested in anything relating to death or the macabre kind of stuff in life. One thing I will say though is a trigger warning for animal sacrifices. Obviously that is a thing that happens in other cultures, and there was one particular scene in here that I was not expecting that described that, and yeah, just be aware before reading this book. So the next book that I finished in August is the other nonfiction book, and it is basically the complete opposite of that one. I'm honestly a little bit embarrassed to show this, but I shouldn't be embarrassed. It's, you know, it's something I like. And it is The Vamps Story 100% official. I don't know if I've talked about this much on my YouTube channel, but if you know me at all in real life, you know that I love bands, boy bands specifically, and I already have a collection of like boy band memoirs. I still have my Jonas Brothers other one. I still have my One Direction one. Now I have this one. I'm a big fan of the Vamps. I'm like kind of a new fan. Like I knew about them back in like 2014 when they became really famous, and then I totally forgot about them for like 3 years or like 5 years, honestly, because that's 2014. It's 2019 now. And I rediscovered their music a few months ago and I absolutely loved it. So I saw that they had a book. This came out in like 2016, so I totally missed it when it first came out. But yeah, I read it. I enjoyed it. Wasn't the best book ever written. I definitely would have some issues with the writing style, but it was good for what it was, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The final book that I finished in August was The Secret Garden. I listened to this on audiobook. I got it from iTunes and it was narrated by Karen Gillan. I actually got it free on iTunes, so if you want to listen to it as well, I would totally recommend it because you can get it for free. At least I think you probably still can. So I also gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was just a nice little story with a great message behind it, and Karen Gillan was an amazing narrator. It's definitely not my usual choice in story. Like, I don't really like to read a lot of middle grade anyway, but I also don't really like the kind of good feeling middle grade that this is. Like, if I'm gonna read a middle grade, it's probably gonna be something real creepy. Probably written by Neil Gaiman also. So yeah, this wasn't what I would usually pick up, so I think if I hadn't been listening to it on audiobook and if I had just been reading it, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But I think because of the way it was narrated, and also it took me almost like 2 months to listen to this book on audiobook. I listened to it in just like little snippets, so I think because of all of that, it was just like a light little story for me to enjoy a little bit each day. I really enjoyed it, and I would totally recommend it because it does have a very nice message and story behind it. So yeah, those are all of the books that I read in August. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I'd love to discuss them with you. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?